one and all. Hello, everybody. It is another episode of the Should I Play This Game podcast, episode 342 for the 3rd of August. Graham.
Oh, how was it going?
How's this for a sweet, oh, damn it. Sweet sound. Crack the can.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I did a shit job on it. When the index fingernail gets slightly too long, it's a very delicate balance to like on the fingernail front. If it's too long, you try and get under, and the pen's back and it fucking hurts.
It hurts. So if you can't, not long enough, you can't
get under and
you can't get any purchase. Yeah, it's a
what
very
the fucking fuck?
It's a very fine balance between the fingernail length. Yes.
And then trying to open cans and stuff. But we could talk about fingernail lengths for hours on end. Well, I could. I'm sure I could figure a way to do that. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for video games. So there are... I think this might be our most voluminous week of or podcast register of video games. There you go.
Yeah, it'll do.
That's definitely how words work. Because I knocked a few off because I just thought, oh bugger, I'm just going to play these on the Saturday version, so I don't have to talk about them as long on here. So I did that, and then it turns out you played one of those games as well.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm very curious of your thoughts on that, but you almost matched me for a number of games. So how about we get into that, shall we?
We should. Alright, so most of my games, there's a couple of demos, the first couple are demos, but a large chunk of mine, I've gone down a bit of an incremental game rabbit hole.
I did that, that's where most of my games were from.
Yeah, so...
in the shadows of the rock bottom check.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, check out, so sort of triggered this. So, we'll get through these couple of demos relatively quick. Order of the Sinking Star. This you would think, looking at the name of the game and the cover art, you'd think would be it's like a CRPG, but no, it's not. It's actually a top-down puzzle game.
It's the new Jonathan Blow joint.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Obviously, it's a demo, so I don't believe they've got a date. This year. That's 31st December 2026 is IDB's way of saying 2026, so it's not really known yet.
Unless that's the actual plan.
Could be. So it's basically you're playing as this little dude who walks into these various sort of over-the-top, top-down arenas, and you're just moving objects around to progress through that particular level. So, for example, and I've not seen any of these in the game so far, so I'm going to try and find something I can kind of... not so much that.
Hey, yo, this looks kind of Hell of Witness almost.
It is more... Yeah, I mean, it's not... It's got the art style of Witness, but yeah, like it's a very different game, clearly, because it's a top-down rather than the... Was Witness first person or third person? First person, wasn't it? First person.
But it's still very line puzzle based.
Yeah, it is. Like it is. Yeah, very, very procedural. Like it's very set. Like this is one thing. You solve this puzzle, you then move on to the next thing, which looks like this. You solve that puzzle, it now moves on to this. So it's just very, very, stage-based, diorama sort of based, fragmented,
almost incremental.
But I mean, it's neat. It's the art style's pretty good as well. I can't remember.
If The Witness had one thing going for it, it was its art style.
Was its art style, yeah. So I've only played it for an hour.
Yep.
And I said, right, I think I'll just wait until this is out, whenever that may be. So I haven't played a lot of it. But you move like unfortunately isn't like what I played in the demo. I can't show a screenshot of because it's not in here.
Right.
But basically you move blocks around to reveal things, and then you can get through the environment, sort of thing. I have not seen any enemies in the game like this one seems to have these enemies in places. I've not seen that in the demo yet. Um, it so it's possible I just didn't play enough into the demo to see that kind of stuff. So I'd be curious to see how that sort of plays out. Whether you've got to do puzzles to get around, move around those enemies or those enemy placements. But it's neat. I like the look of it. I think it's going to have. I think it's going to be like his how do I say, his brain is not the same as everybody else's. So a lot of the
You generous motherfucker.
his puzzle design is obviously very unique.
He has a very intrinsically weird way of thinking in some
Yeah.
regards.
So some of the puzzles I think did take me a bit of time to get my head around. Okay, what's the mechanic in this one? Oh, that's what it is. Okay, I think I can understand that. If you actually want to go to the Steam page and watch the little video for the demo, that shows off more of what I played versus what these screenshots do. But yeah, as I said, it is very, very, very much his kind of stuff, as you can kind of imagine.
Yeah. 1,000 interconnected handcrafted puzzles.
Yeah,
Fuck.
exactly. Yeah, and like there does appear to be some sort of story there, but I don't kind of really get it. But again,
technically, The Witness had a story too, didn't it?
yeah, I think it sort of did, but I couldn't
I
tell
wasn't
you.
smart enough for The Witness.
I couldn't tell you what the story was in that one. So, yeah, so that's kind of where I left off with that one. So it's still on my wish list. I will keep an eye on it because I think most of the stuff he comes out with, I'm at least tangentially interested in. Until I realise it's, yeah, as you sort of say, it's too fucking hard for me to go, right, I'm out. But, at least
I got like maybe 3 or 4 hours into The Witness.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't have The Witness on here. I played it on PlayStation. But yeah, I got to a point where I think it was like looking at the puzzle line things through colored glass and trying to figure it out from there. And I was like, I have no fucking idea what you want me to do.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I'm in the right place.
Yeah,
Fuck this. I'm out.
Yeah. So I think there's going to be, that's his puzzle design, so I suspect there's going to be a lot of that in this. And yeah, I may not play a lot of it if I do decide to buy it, but yeah. As I said, just his design and his game design overall, it's something I'm always look at when he comes out with something new.
One of the great eccentrics of video.
Yes, yes,
Phil
indeed.
Fish.
Mm.
One of the same.
All right, Global Rescue. This is an interesting one. So this is a game in which you play essentially you're designing a Thunderbird style without all of the
So Paw Patrol.
Essentially, you're building a rescue company. So you build a thing that does police, fire, that sort of stuff. You're building out the
Facilities.
The facilities. So you're building bunk beds, and you're building offices, and you're building like the whole facility. And then, including, I don't know if there's going to be in this screenshot somewhere, will probably be the 911 operator equivalent.
Oh, yeah.
So you actually get calls in, and then you're basically micromanaging the dispatch of vehicles to the incident. When the vehicles get to the incident, you're also micromanaging the incident itself, like telling the trained officers what to do. Which again, not in this.
It seems like it's taking the concepts of Dispatch, like the game Dispatch from last year, and just building that out, and also making a non-children's Paw Patrol just without little dogs.
Yeah, well, it's a lot more. You're micromanaging everything.
Yeah,
and that was my big complaint with it. And when you go into the discussion boards, there's a lot of complaints about that too. Like you've got trained police officers, fire people, whatever. You shouldn't have to tell them how to do their job when they get to a scene. And that's the problem with this game, is you're doing a lot of micromanaging. You're literally telling them, when they get to the scene, you're telling them, okay, now go investigate the area. Well, I shouldn't have to tell policemen to investigate the area. They should know what they're doing. So I think there's going to be, it's in demo, it's not a, there's no, there's a date in April for it, for the early access. I played the demo of the early access, what I assume is early access. There is lots of discussion on the boards about the automating a lot of that micromanaging stuff. There's also them acknowledging that that's a thing they have to think about doing, and they may in fact change it. So I think they seem to be taking on that feedback pretty well, I think, and are probably going to look at.
Well, I suppose the challenge then would be, if you don't have, I mean, maybe you don't need it as granular, but if you, like, what do you do between the managing of the base part when they're out on calls and shit?
That's the that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
when this starts cranking up, like when I played the demo, I got to a point where I was managing 4 or 5 calls at once.
Yeah.
Coming in, okay, signing that police to that particular incident, which I can, which I get. That's fine, but I shouldn't have to tell them when they get there what to do.
Not yeah. When you're doing 4 or 5 at a time, then absolutely not. That because my thought was, oh, you're sending out one call. What do you do when they're just doing their thing? But
yeah,
if
well,
you're then assigning, reassigning, all this sort
yeah,
of shit, then
yeah, essentially you're so the call will come into, like you can see there on that that screenshot, which was there. You'd get a call like this sort of thing, and you say, okay, I'm going to assign 2 police officers to that incident, or fire and police that incident, because the nature requires both of them.
Yeah.
And you can see it there, that up here in the top left, smoke detected triggered in exhibition hall. So you've actually got resources on the way, and there's police. You literally can tick on the car and go, okay, now go to this one, now go to this one. You've also got things like keeping, I don't know if they've got it in their screenshot. Yeah, they do. That's big. This facility here is cleaning, is for cleaning the cars and the vehicles. So you've got to do that. So you sort of I think if when I downloaded the game and looked at the game, I thought it was a base management game, not managing the entire damn thing. But the other neat thing about it is it wasn't available in the demo, but you can actually play this game anywhere in the world. It's based on the world map.
Oh, geographic.
So it uses some sort of mapping thing like Google Earth kind of stuff. So you can actually put this and play this game as if you're playing it at your own city.
What if this is like Ender's Game, but for real? Like, you're actually managing emergency scenarios, but you think it's a video game.
Yeah, so it's a neat concept, but yeah, that micromanaging, the moment-to-moment stuff, just became busy work that didn't need to be there.
What if you're supposed to be managing the firefighting in Europe, but you're not doing it because you're not playing the game? What happens then?
Yeah, so as I said, a lot of potential, but I just think they need to.
There's an interesting concept, but
yeah, they need to get away from this micromanaging nature of it. So yeah, I think they are taking all the feedback on board. They've got methodologies to sort of vote for new ideas for the putting of the game and that kind of stuff. Most of the demo is just played on a flat plane, like a flat environment.
Yep.
So they've got things to add in climate and elevation changes and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's got lots of things like that. But I think the biggest issue is going to be if they don't remove or reduce that micromanagement stuff. I think that would be a no for me to buy this game when it does get to 1.0, which may.
I wonder what actual police / emergency coordination is, if it actually is that depth of micromanagement. So they're providing something of a realistic take on it.
No. If you're a dispatcher, you tell a police officer to go to a location to deal with an issue, you don't then tell them how to do their job when they get there. They know what to
I don't
do.
know. Yeah, I'm just working on. I'm just devil's
Or
advocating here.
yeah, just look at the real world. Police know how to do things. They get called to
I don't see police in the real world. I'm a law-abiding citizen.
what you don't see them just driving around and hear about news articles about police attending scenes. They know what they're doing. You don't need to. They don't need to be told every step of the way what to do. So, yeah, that was the biggest complaint in the demo from the demo I saw, and yeah, it's valid. And I said they're taking it on board. So they are actually adding in incident commanders now that do a lot of that automating at the scene. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see in the future if they update the demo to align with those changes, whether they've reduced that overhead of that stuff. Because
maybe trying to backload that back into the demo might be a bit more work than.
Yeah, entirely possible. They might not update it to do that, but yeah.
If they put it into the early access build, though, that would be.
Yeah, that's obviously the logical thing to do. So, but yeah, very neat concept. But a little bit too micromanaging for my liking. We did a checkout of this. Happy bastards!
We did.
It is a turn-based tactics style in the vein of brain freeze.
XCOM.
Yes, thank you. Not well, that and I was thinking of what's the other one? Into the Breach is what I was actually thinking of. So yeah, it's really neat. Got some good British humour. The screenshots here don't show it off at all, and I've uninstalled it.
Despite being Canadian.
Yeah, but like this is the art style, sort of blocky sort of stuff. I think it's kind of neat style. But yeah, these screenshots don't show it off at all, and I've removed the demo. So let's just move on.
It's actually removed the demo.
No, I've removed it from my machine. I don't have any salt. All right, rock bottom. We're now into our incremental section. Rock Bottom was a game that we tried to do a checkout from my end, and for whatever reason the technology wasn't playing up, so you ended up doing it. Part of
the problem with the Happy Bastards checkout.
Yeah, it was a bit, but anyway. But yeah, we've both played this to completion. Yes.
Yep. We finished the checkout, uploaded everything. Bye, and I literally reopened this and played it until I finished it.
Yep. So yeah, this is an incremental game. So you are a little orky dude, who basically looks like that little guy in the middle of the screenshot there. You are doing mining stuff. You are going down into the mines and mining stuff. You've got your standard massive tech tree, skill tree that gives you abilities that jetpacks, lightning bolts, explosions, faster resource gathering from the things that you pick up, doubles and stuff like that. It also increases your little stamina meter down the bottom left, because that's how long each kind of run is how long you go until you run out of stamina. Then you basically return to the various couple of base worlds, which are, there's two of them. There's an initial one and a second one. And as you go through the different worlds, you are picking up different resources to then help you mine different things and make different things in the various furnaces to make ores. And then there's a thing further on that allows you to turn that stuff in. I don't think I included a screenshot. No, I didn't. Looks of it. The smelting of it into more exotic items. To then you're also as you're going through the world picking up actually from these little chests. And by leveling up, you get up. What are they called? They're just called tokens. I think they're just called tokens.
Yeah,
tokens. Which allows you to put into this sort of passive buff tree of sorts, which gives you just more stuff to make things go quicker, mine faster, mine more in one moment. Yep. It's very neat. I really, really dug it. I didn't really want to say that, but I did.
Nice. You motherfucker, but
nice. Yeah, it's really neat. Like, it's really, really cool. And again, obviously, I tried to take a screenshot when it goes off completely off the rails, when just thinking just goes all numbers and just explosions, all sorts of stuff. But it's.
I was gonna say, there's a rather dearth amount of there's a dearth of damage numbers coming off on these screenshots here.
Yeah, well,
Like
they're
fuck
better than
me,
one.
when shit pops off.
It just goes absolutely insane.
Oh,
So
it's so fucking satisfying.
it is just explosions and numbers. And you go, well, I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I've got a shitload of numbers on
You're
screen, and
just
that's great.
deleting fucking like massive
Yeah,
amounts of rock.
yeah.
Like, how did you feel about the quote unquote end game?
Oh, this is the final. What the
Yeah,
final?
the final couple of tasks.
I mean, it was all a bit yeah, basically.
Yeah, I thought that was
It was,
really,
it was
really
like,
quite underwhelming. It was
yeah,
just like,
So there's, as I go back to here, there are these 8 environments you're going down into. Each environment basically has a very specific aura or element that you need to upgrade the axe that you're using effectively. And that very last one, the bottom right hand one that's set, there's like a cosmic or something environment at the very bottom. So basically, you go down and down and down through the world, through the environment, and eventually you kind of hit the bottom of that area.
you hit the bottom.
And at the bottom of that one, the very last one, is this big sort of weird god-looking dude thingy, and he's taken over the world, or he's done something that
He's
very
holding
similar.
your flying friends captive.
That's right. That's right.
He's trying to Thanos shit.
And basically just says, give me 500 of these, 500 of these, 500 of these, and I'll let you all go. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
and then you do it, and it just goes, yay!
Yay, thank you, and he just fucks off, and you go,
Wait, what?
it was just, yeah, it's just a very underwhelming ending, but I kind of think that at some point, I'm not too sure how you would end that game better, quote unquote, but...
Mining Merchant does a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, but I mean, Mining Merchant's got its own, like, its own thing about it.
Have much more of a narrative.
Much more a narrative to it. This was, yeah, so...
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
What do you mean octopi are causing earthquakes? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just under 6 hours, I think was my time. Yeah, just under 6 hours. And for $12 Australian, fuck, why would you not? Like, it's just it's an easy sell. Mining Merchant is the next one. This actually was the one that started it all, so to speak. From you played this a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And from that, I bought it. And that sort of started my little incremental rabbit hole.
There's been a few more of these before Mining Merchant as well, though, this year. This
Oh,
year's
that-
been a good year for incremental games.
Yeah, there has been, yeah. So Mining Merchant, we've discussed this enough, so we probably won't dig into too much more. But you are essentially, it's like a rock bottom equivalent, but you've got more options for what you're using to dig with.
I like how you said it's a rock bottom equivalent, despite rock bottom coming out quite a couple of months after.
But okay, rock bottom is following Mining Merchant anyway. I'm using it as a comparison. So, yeah. So, but in the difference between rock bottom and Mining Merchant is you are actually mining resources to make items like bracelets and rings to then sell in your shop, and that's how you get the money to upgrade the mech that you're using and the truck that you're using and all that kind of stuff. So, again, very neat game. The story, yeah, bit more of a structured story, I guess you could say, versus what's in Rock Bottom. Still very odd though, the nature of. Yeah, there's basically the earthquakes at this city called Rock City, and you're tasked to find out why. You find out why and go, that's fucking weird. And then you find out that one of the people in the city was under the whole was controlling the whole thing, and he was doing it for basically capitalism. It's just all really kind of odd, but neat little game.
Good.
Yep.
Is that the first game you've finished this year?
I think it probably is very close to it. Yeah, it probably is. Yeah. Another one I finished, Chef Night. So Chef Night is yet another incremental, where you are a chef.
We found a new Graham game.
And you're basically going down into the dungeons to kill floating food and stuff. So you can see in this one you've got fish. We've got some sort of leek, I think it is from memory, chilies, and you can't quite see it in the screenshot, but there's a little cone of direction just there. You can see it just there out of.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So basically, it's an auto shooter when you're in these
Sweet.
environments. So you just aim in the direction that you want to attack, and it will basically attack anything and everything inside your cone of vision. And again, you've got your things like lightning and all that sort of stuff, like those sort of buffs to it, because you've got your good old skill tree, as you would expect in these sort of games, that does more damage, does more of this, increases the number of enemies in the starting environment, that sort of thing. Because there are 4 biomes, and I include the screenshot with the biomes. I didn't look like I did. Bugger.
I saw you were playing this. And I'm like, wait, the fuck is this? I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, I put ignore on this. I think because at this point I'm just like any quote unquote action roguelite. I'm just like, fuck this. I'm sick of these.
Yeah, that's not what this is.
No, I think I had that tag on it. Maybe,
one of my other games does have that on it, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Or is more kind of that. But essentially, the runs are you're in here, top left-hand corner. You've got a meter, that is how much time you've got in this area. You collect as much crap as you can in the time you've got. You then, at the end of that, you've collected the ingredients. You can also pick up, you can just see in the screenshot there's a little bag of spice just there, because you've got a cooking center which cooks the raw recipes. You can then spice it up, and then you're selling it to these little orcs, and they're just continuously selling. So you pack up all your stuff on your head, you come over here and you then sell it, and that's the sequence. You've got a recipe of about, I think it's only about 10 or 12 recipes, and not a lot of recipes. There's maybe 2 or 3 recipes per area, and there's only 4 areas. And essentially you're just designed to get through all 4 biomes. And I thought I had a screenshot of the biomes, but I'm not seeing it here.
When I went and looked, just while you're looking through them, when I went and looked, jeez, that looks like a really early screenshot, that one.
Oh, this one, that's why I replaced them. This one's really new, really old screenshot.
Super old. When I saw you playing, I went and looked and chucked it on the cart. So I'm like, yep, okay.
Yeah, it's really, really good. There's no story at all. Like, it literally is. You're just making food, basically, and making money from this. Each recipe is valued at, you just get a set price what they sell for. And when you when you spice it up, you triple its value. So you might sell it for $10 million or coin or whatever. You spice it up, you're now selling it for $30 million. And these guys just come in and just buy it and leave. They don't.
No talking, no fucking around.
No, nothing. No, yep. You feed the food into the cauldron to cook stuff. It stacks up here, similar to what you can see on this screenshot here. They just stack up. You press A to load them onto you. You can then put some onto your spicing rack. You've got 16 spices there. You can maybe see in the screenshot. You then got whatever's left goes over here. You stack it up to sell. They buy it and they bugger off, and you make money. That's basically it. See in the top right hand corner, you've got these sort of tasks that get popped up. You get that, you get the 3rd level of sort of currency, because some of these upgrade tree items need the second that second level of gem to upgrade them. But there's things like, you can kind of see in this screenshot, a very confusing UI at the bottom here. The thing on the left is right trigger, the thing on the right is left trigger. I have no idea if that was by design or a bug and they just haven't fixed it. I do not know. Not that it really matters, because as long as you can keep an eye on the cooldown, you just trigger it when you need it.
That's fucking hilarious. Why the fuck did that happen?
I don't know. I don't know what the hell went on there. So you can see you've got your damage. Obviously you've got damage in multipliers and stuff like that. You can see around the little chef too, there's a flying spatulas. Again, that's just an ability you get. Just figures up. You've got a rolling pin that can roll and then bounce off items to get faster, and that does all damage. And then in middle of each level, at the end of each, so each level is each dungeon is 4 levels,
Force.
4 floors. In the middle of each one, but up until you get to the last one, is a basic trapdoor. You fill the meter up in the top right hand corner. That will then reveal the door to go to the next level. Or if it's on the last one, it'll reveal the final chest.
Yep.
And then you delete the final chest and you've beaten the biome. And then you move on to the next biome. That's basically it. So yeah, but it's really neat. The fact that it's sort of the auto shooter, you're just walking around this environment. You have got some damage. So these things can hurt you.
Yep.
These things. And you see in the top left hand corner, I've got those little chef's hats. That's my live or health points. So you can actually quote unquote die in one of these dungeons and just ends the dungeon run, so to speak. But this stuff also does damage to the food, so it does help you in that respect.
I like it when environments play by the rules like that.
Yep. So it's just really neat.
And it does that thing for me where, like, for an arse game, it adds. It's not just move around.
Yeah.
There's additional layers and additional mechanics to it, where like some arse games, particularly ones that seemingly get a lot of praise by the quote-unquote community, like Soulstone Survivors, is like there's nothing but moving around here. There's nothing to this.
Yeah, you're just doing more damage as you go up, as you upgrade, but you're not actually doing. Where I think this thing's really neat when you've got the ability to fire off these other little abilities and stuff to help you get through the world. Yeah.
Well, I realised the error of my ways and threw it straight in my cart after I started playing it. I'm like, all right then, this is going to happen.
No, it is really, really good. One that you and I are both playing as well is Diggin'. Have you finished this one?
No.
No, okay.
This is one of the ones I fell off of.
Oh, okay, interesting. So
I'm very curious.
I think I can probably guess why, but I'll
go for it.
We'll see. So it is obviously, hence its name, is a miner. But I guess maybe I'll probably still get my issues with it. Maybe that'll help. So again, it's got your standard tech tree. No issues there. It's got things to help you have more fuel, do more damage, abilities, the usual sort of thing you'd see in a game like this. I think my biggest problem with it is your environment that you're going down is as wide as we can see on the screenshot here. You can have upgrades to make it go wider.
Yep.
You are picking up, what are they called? Fossils that are like buffs, essentially, that you can equip up to 4 at once, I think, or up to 4 if you've unlocked them. Unlocked them. You unlock them by spending rock candy, which you gain by completing what they call missions, which are essentially challenges. Mine 100,000, do whatever you get. You then turn in that mission, or what do they call it, mission, and get rock candy from it, and use that to unlock these fossil bins. And they're just buffs, like do more damage from this type of whatever. I think the biggest problem is it's and you've also got abilities like, and we won't be in the screenshot. What is it? Dynamite, I think, is one of the early ones you get.
Dynamite in the air.
And you get another one which I think just does an explosion, like a blast radius thing in where you are.
Yeah.
You've got the cooldown. I don't know if the screenshot in here has it. Yes, it does. Bottom left hand corner. Screenshots are a bit on the older side, but these are concepts there. These things are just basically on an automatic timer, and they just go around and they just go off.
Is every
10 hits, X number of hits or something. Yeah. Yep. Other one is based on timing, so you can kind of predict when it's going to happen. My biggest problem is if you're in, like for example, you can see here on the screenshot, we've got a chest sitting, about 3 down and 2 across. If you just happen to get an explosion right at that time, you just go straight past it, and you go, fuck, that's fuck, I wanted to get to my fuck, and that's probably my biggest problem with it, is you've got no, like you can, in the tech tree, you can turn those abilities off.
Oh, okay.
You can, there's an A to activate, and you can actually turn them on and off. So if you wanted to have a run where that never happened, so you could have more control over where you went as a thing, you can, but those two things are so bloody powerful. You
Yes.
you gotta can't go without them because this is standard drill doesn't do enough damage to get
It,
there in the time you've got. So,
and that's my problem.
and that's the balance with it. Because one thing's not in this thing is this drill fuel up in the top left hand corner. Depending on the type of resource you're drilling through,
Yes.
it consumes that faster. Again, there's skill tree things to make that reduce the rate of that and that sort of thing. But I think there's probably the two biggest complaints is you to get progressed down through the mine. You need to have those explosive abilities, but then when you've got the explosive abilities activated, you've got a little bit less control over where you go because it'll just blow up an entire area. And if you've fuck, I've just missed the fossil,
Yeah.
and you sort of go past it. So I think, yeah, if there was a way to when it rather than have it
Trigger.
trigger when
Just put
it
it on
when
the bottom prompt.
just make it trigger like with Chef Knight cooldown. Have the same mechanic to get the cooldown reduced, but make it so I trigger it, not the game just
Yeah.
doesn't trigger it automatically. I think that would be the only thing I would probably say that would make a difference to it. So you've got a bit of control over when it fires off to then can get to that fossil that you want to get to without having to essentially blast your way past it and go, oh fuck, that's it, I've missed it. So I think they're probably
I
the two.
love the setup though. I love the
Yeah,
setup. It's so fucking stupid.
yeah, he's basically a
An
mole.
ancient mole race.
Yeah,
Finds a fucking massive mine.
yeah,
It collapses and they die. This little mole dude rocks up, finds the hole, says, fuck it, I'm gonna start
I'm
digging.
gonna start digging. Yeah,
And because he's a mole, you can't see fuck all around you.
yeah.
It's hilarious.
Hence why it's got this narrow field of view, and even inside that you've got a circle of. It's not shown here particularly well, but there's also a like
Yeah.
a glowing bit of that as well.
But you also have next to no control over navigation. It's literally where you've drilled is where he goes.
Yeah, exactly. So you can control and go sideways,
Yeah.
but as I said, minute those explosions go off,
Sideways.
then yeah. So yeah, I do have a couple of issues with it, but I think ultimately it's a pretty neat little game. There are a couple of UI elements that are a bit odd. When you come out of a run, you come into essentially this screen, or that's not got more on it in the current game. But you're not actually activating the skill tree. You've got to go press, like I'm using controller, so it might be different on keyboard or something, but you press B to go back to this menu to then choose a skill tree, then actually interact with it. And it's just a couple of weird UI things like that. But
the controller support on the actual skill tree stuff is fucked.
yeah, it is. It's
Because
just
if you accidentally or deliberately navigate over to where the missions are or anything like that, getting the cursor from those mission menus back to the skill tree is an utter motherfucker.
no, it's not too. Yeah, it's not brilliant. But you just got to. It's just press B and it's up and down to get skill tree, to then go across and to activate the skill tree.
I just
But
say,
yeah,
that's what that layer is.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's odd because when you first come into that menu, the skill tree comes up implying you've got interactive to the skill tree, and you don't. You're in the top right hand corner. You then choose skill tree, then you activate the skill tree, then you interact with it.
Oh my god! I thought the B and the X for layer 1, layer 2 referred to the actual digging.
It does. But you can also go. There's a way to. I don't know what key it is off the top of my head, but there's a way to get back to the three menus in the top right hand corner. Was it missions? What is it? Skill tree, mission, and fossil, whatever it is. You interact with those things to go in and out of those things to get into the skill tree. Actually, to actually interact.
Fucking just use the mouse.
Yeah, I mean it's not perfect. Using a mouse, the keyboard is not stick control is not perfect. But yeah, I mean, as I said, I think it's other than that kind of that explosive, no sort of what's one I'm looking for?
Sort of lack of control.
Lack of control over where you want to go specifically is a little bit of a problem. The other thing too is like when it doesn't really explain this, but when you start mining, you've got like you mentioned a second ago the level thing or the what's the term they use? Layer stuff. That's not explained why that happens. Unless I missed it. It's when you've got the ability to go through. I've only got to 4 so far in my playthrough, but they're essentially it's like a biome in a way, thing. And And essentially, when you're starting, you're drilling down into the rock, and you might get on a standard piece of dirt, you might just get one rock out of it. But level 2, you get 5 out of each one. Level 3, you get 20, and it scales up like that. But you can change that at any time, just by pressing the X and B buttons on the controller to go back and down, up and down that list. And it's not explained why that's a thing, but yeah.
I ended up just getting really frustrated at the lack of pace and like constantly hitting about 60 depth, crapping out. Oh, well, here we go. And just not having. It just feels really slow in the early going.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit slow in the early going, but I think, again.
It might be a thing where that can be alleviated by like the fuel upgrades and things like that. But if you wanted to go damage upgrades, you'd think the damage upgrade might negate some of the fuel issue, but it kind of doesn't.
No.
So it's just like, fuck this.
Yeah,
and there's something here, but like the time it takes to get to the something here is like, nah, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not quite at that point yet. I can 100% get where you're coming from, no doubt. I think the couple of things when I was playing it, one thing we haven't got in their screenshots is you can get what do they call it? Overdrill?
Oh, the overdrive.
Overdrive, yeah. Which basically allows you for a short period of time, again on a cooldown that regenerates. You basically get a burst of speed essentially to drill through quicker. But yeah, I know where you're coming from.
I just find some of the overly punitive actions on the fuel usage to drill.
Yeah, there are bits where I was playing it. Now looking up, I'm not necessarily watching the fuel meter, like a hawk, but you can sort of see in the back at the top of the okay, it's getting down, but I've got such a big number to start with it. I've got enough. I've got shitloads to go. Yeah. Then all of a sudden you go, well, shit, where the fuck did my fuel go?
Yeah, because you hit you hit the sort of obsidian type rock about 60 lines down.
Yeah.
And where I'm at, it's like doing 5 fuel units of damage per hit. I was like, fuck you.
Yeah, like the fuel just evaporates essentially, just goes so quickly sometimes. And that's a couple of times I've gone, shit, where did my fuel go? I had a third of a bar at one point. Where the hell did it go? And that's why I actually started recording the session to see if I could understand what was happening. And that's basically what you said. Like when you get to certain levels, you are just using more fuel to drill through that environment, which goes back to my earlier point. You need those explosive things to progress, because otherwise you're going to progress so slowly. So yeah.
Or you just focus so much on upgrading fuel that you're not upgrading anything else. So it sort of borderline funnels you into a certain way of upgrading, which kind of bothers me a little bit as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure I think this year they haven't quite got the balance of upgrade versus progression stuff, but I think
once you upgrade the fuck out of that shit, you're probably just going.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever go back to those earlier mine biome, whatever the hell they call them, you just fucking fly through. Yeah. So you're doing so much damage, but obviously getting fuck all resources for it because you're at a lower return rate. But yeah, I think I'll probably still persevere with it. But yeah, I do get where you're coming from.
When the fuel runs out, it just stops for like half a second and then just fades to black as mine done.
Mm.
And unlike rock bottom where he runs out of energy and he just falls over.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
And the last one on my incremental rabbit hole.
I've added this to my cart now too because of you.
Hold your horses. I'll let you know how this.
Bought it yet, so.
Yep. All right. So this is the bills must be paid. So again, all these games are really cheap. We probably should say that. Like they're under $10 for the most part. Hence why it's so easy just to buy like 6 of them at fucking once.
Yeah, you just say, fuck it.
Just
buy 10. Like 8 times this on lunch. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. So this game is. Let me get onto the. Okay. So again, you are hitting piggy banks because you are having to require to pay some bills. Hence, something like you got to pay a credit card bill or bill. I don't know if they've actually ever given names of the bills. I think just I'm not too sure. Anyway, so You've got a desk in front of you. I think you're some just, I don't know if they've even set up who you are. I think you're just some person with money problems.
Yep.
You've got a hammer in your hand. That hammer will automatically hit the ground or hit the floor, hit the desk. You can see that underneath the little peg there with the 9, there's a little circle. That's where the hammer's going to hit. And essentially you are just hitting the piggy banks. They've got hit points. And you've got damage. And again, you've got a good old skill tree. If I can get
Fucking
that. Which is... Oh, it didn't include a shot of screenshot. Oh, there it is there. That one. There it is there. So there's your screenshot of the skill tree. Standard thing. Damage multipliers, crit multipliers, the usual stuff that you would see. But also they have... This is also run-based. If you don't have enough money to pay this bill, you declare bankruptcy. Up in the top right-hand corner, you can see there's a number there, 1325. For every $50, so the bills you're paying get incrementally higher.
Yep.
The very first one you pay is $20. That'll probably take you you get a certain number of days to pay that bill off. I'm just got to one where I'm paying a $250,000 bill.
Sort of life you live in that has a $250,000 bill.
I wish. I wish. And that one I haven't got to yet. I haven't got the process to do that. When you start a run, this skill tree resets back to 0.
Ooh.
Yeah. As I said, hold your horses on this one before you go. So hold your horses.
Why would you have a non-persistent skill tree? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Correct. So you've got this non-persistent skill tree.
Fuck that.
You also have this thing here. This is actually not a new... Let's go with that one's better. So you've got a shop that has hammers in it. Also non-persistent. They reset.
Oh, fuck off.
They reset after every run. You've also got piggies. They level up. They level up to the point... They level up... No. Not persistent. Nothing is persistent. There's only one thing that's persistent. And I'll get to that in a second. So everything resets.
Open piggy banks.
What's that?
You can just open the bottom of a piggy bank. You don't have
to
smash them.
Yeah, but where's the fun in that?
I mean, yeah. Why let logic get in the way of a good time?
Exactly. So as you're playing through each run, well, they call it a cycle, but it's a run. You earn, as you said, you're paying off these bills. For every $50 you pay off a bill, you get one of these legacy points or legacy coins or whatever the fuck they call them. You're then using that at the beginning of each run to buy these things. And these are permanent from run to run. So things like increased stamina, increased damage to start with, that kind of thing. You can also just reset those at any point and get them back. So this is the only thing that's permanent from run to run.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either.
I have now removed it from my card after you told me that.
After
what fucking monster makes a skill tree that's not fucking persistent?
Exactly. Yeah, I was actually when I wondered what happens if I can't pay a bill. So I thought, okay, I'll just see what happens. Oh fuck, the whole thing fucking restarts is what happens.
Fuck that.
So, and then after each time you pay a bill, you get one of these things, or option.
Yeah.
And these are basically buffs. These are not persistent. So nothing is persistent except for those coins that I mentioned at the very end there, where at the end of a run, whole entire cycle, whatever you've gained in that particular cycle, you can then use on these coins. And the bottom ones here, you can't sort of see, they're like $10, $15, $20,000 each sort of thing. And these are permanent buffs. So one might be damage increase, like that sort of thing. But
given the extent of the skill tree and how fucking big that is, for that to be the extent of the persistent upgrades, it's kind of fucked.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, and these things, like, the bills aren't this weird number, not too sure what's happening from this, but like the very first one you get is $20, then it's $45, then it's $200, and it's 1,000, then it's 12,000, then it's 34,000. The one I've just got now is, I think it might have been a 65,000 one in there somewhere as well. So after every run, you've got the option to go into the skill tree to, upgrade the skill tree stuff. You can look at these piggies because they also level up, but also as you're smashing pigs, you are putting a meter into, I don't know if it's in a screenshot on this one, I don't think it was. Yeah, basically you unlock new pigs, basically. And each of those pigs, if you hover over,
like that pig space though.
Yeah. If you hover over these, over the actual individual piggies in the list here, they've got a hit points. They've also got 1 to 2, maybe 3 levels, and that's the percent chance you'll get of that particular loot value.
Yep.
So, for example, this one here, the top middle one, he might have 3 levels. The first level, which you get like 30% of the time, would have like 1 to 10. The second one you might get only 15 chances, like 12 to 40, like that sort of thing. And the bigger the range, the less percent chance you get of getting it, sort of thing. Which that's kind of neat that it's got that. So it's not always going to be guaranteed. You're going to always get 10 or always get 20 or whatever. It's got a bit of randomality to it. One thing I haven't talked about either is there is actually this is probably my biggest problem with this game at a face level, is there is a gambling element to this as well. I haven't shown it in here. There is the ability after a run to double or nothing what you've earned that run. And that's basically just a flip of a coin, essentially.
Of course it fucking is. Jesus
and if you win it, you double what you get. If you lose it, you lose half of, you don't get anything or something like that, kind of what it is.
Well, that's what double or nothing is.
Yep. You've also got one that one of the pigs does this. Actually unlocks this. I think it might be that one there. Maybe that one, I can't remember. Is basically essentially, those games where they 3 cups and move around. You got to pick you got to keep your eye on it. So they've got that, which has the ability to like massively double everything. Like it's a massive increase in what you get. But this thing goes so fucking fast at one point, it's just impossible to track it. I've done that twice, and I'm 50-50 with it. I got the very first one, I just guessed. Fucking middle one, hey! I got it. Yeah, so the other thing you can also do is one of the... I don't think it was a car, but one of these things had the ability to basically call a loan shark in. And they will give you money. So, for example, you get to the end of the run. I haven't got enough money to get to pay the bill. I will give a loan shark to get the value to get up to the next one, pay it. But then you're obviously paying interest back to him.
Scoochy Scratchy had very similar concepts.
Yeah.
But everything else about Scoochy Scratchy was persistent outside of the.
Yeah. But yeah, this thing.
Now you're gonna piss me off.
Yeah, this one, like it does have a lot going on. Like it's the same thing. Shit can go off on the screen. Like it's got that. But just this non-persistent skill tree stuff, you do obviously with the coin that I was talking about at the end here, you can start getting to the point where you can get pretty quickly progress through the cycle because you've upgraded these things to give you more damage to begin with, so you can get money quicker. But I'm now into my 10th or 11th cycle, and I've only now just unlocking that big 250,000 payment, and I'm not sure how many cycles are going to take me to get that up. Yeah, not too sure.
Yeah,
but
it's a bit of a shame, really.
It's as I said, I didn't realize any of this. None of the stuff I've talked about is non. I didn't know any of that. I just literally looked at that. Thought, oh, that looks fucking cool. It's only $6. It's only $6 or $7. It's an incremental. I know what they are. And then I bought it on the basis of that. I wouldn't recommend it based on what I've played so far. Now, my recommendation, if I get through the end of it, it might change. I'm playing with a mouse because playing this with a controller is just not possible. As I said, like that, not you can see it on that screenshot because it's hidden underneath it, but that thing there is incredibly precise in how you've got to beyond that. Using controller like left stick, thumbstick, it just isn't quick enough to get around the screen. So I tried playing
And
as a
then if you
controller.
grab the sensitivity, it becomes too much of a
Yeah,
fucking make
exactly.
precise
Yeah.
movement.
So at the end of each run, you basically get an accuracy scoring of how many times you missed the pegs, basically. Um, and yeah, like controller with mouse and keyboard, you high 80s, 90%. The first couple of times I did with the controller, I was like 30 to 40%, if not lower, because it's just impossible to track through and get them all. It also has a slightly funny thing is that at the end of a run, it gives you how many times you useless clicks you made because you click the mouse. It doesn't do anything. It tells you useless clicks and tells you the 27 of them. Just a humour thing. Just a humour thing. Does nothing. So, but yeah. So I was surprised that incremental builder doesn't do a persistent skill tree because that's rare in a in an incremental game not to have a persistent
With
skill
a
tree.
skill tree that big,
Yeah, correct. Like
like Switch Scratch, you're buying the tiers over and over, but the persistent upgrades are pretty substantial.
yeah, like and yeah, as I said, like even these things in here, this shop where you got the different hammers, the hammers are not persistent. These things here are not persistent. Not that
Fuck that.
they're not particularly useful. So yeah, it's a bit yeah. Oh, you do get these coins here. Not that I've seen a
Yeah,
screenshot. These
that's
are
in the 6th or 7th screenshot.
no, that's not that. No, this
Oh, no.
collection. No,
5 from the end on the right.
5 from the end on the right. Oh, sorry, these things. Yeah, these are persistent. And basically, every time you hit one of, like, it seems to be it's obviously random. You hit a particular pig, the whole thing sort of slows down, and this, you know,
Yeah.
excitement thing happens. And that's things like double this, double that. Look, those are persistent. Um,
But
these legacy coin things you put points into, they're persistent, but everything else is not persistent. And yeah, I'm not
bummer.
sure. Not sure. As I said, I'm going to probably keep playing it because I'm so far investing in it. I might as well keep going with it. I am 2.5 hours, nearly 3 hours in. I think at
Yeah.
this point I might as well just keep going with it to see if it does change
The
at all.
overwhelming positive reviews is weird given the non-persistence of the skill tree and everything else. But
Yeah,
maybe that.
yeah, not too sure, but I I was surprised when the whole thing when I thought, I wonder what happens. Oh fuck, everything's reset. I wasn't
Oh,
expecting that.
fuck this.
um, but yeah, it's yeah, it's is what it is, I guess. But
Okay.
yeah, so that's my incremental. I did buy Chef Knight in a bundle with another game called Shell Diver, another incremental game. That game was released last year, that's why I haven't played it. But it's basically a very similar concept. I think in that one you are a turtle running some
That
sort
makes sense.
of
It's called Shield Lava.
running some sort of like underwater shop for selling jellyfish or something. I didn't really read into it that much, but yeah. So yeah, very neat. Most of them are neat. The last one, yeah, on the fence about, even though I played half of it. So
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how you feel about it if you end up playing more of it and get further towards the end. But we'll
I
see
think
how
I'll
that
probably
goes.
will. I think I'll probably will persist with it and try and finish it.
Yeah.
I just yeah, maybe my tune will change at the end of that, but I'm not sure. Not
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, but yeah, that is what I played.
Wonderful. So I have played one more game than you.
hmm
And it may as well just be Forza Horizon 6. For every time I say I'm out, they add cars to the seasonal rewards or shit, and it's like, oh fine, I'll fucking play it again. So that's more cars came up, so here we are.
Yep.
Anyway, Rose and Locket.
hmm
It's a dual stick platformer / action game set in the Old West, or a version of the Old West. Remember Hard West 2?
Oh,
It was
yeah,
the
yeah.
Old West with like demons and shit.
hmm
Very similar framing here.
Okay. Cool.
It's got a fucking amazing presentation style.
hmm
That really carries a lot of the persistent engagement for me.
Yep.
It looks fucking fantastic. It's got some really strong voice acting and sound design. That supports it really quite well. So, funnily enough, Rose is the protagonist. She has a daughter whose name is Rosebud. She really stretched herself on that one. But somehow her soul or her spirit ends up trapped in a locket.
Okay.
I don't understand how that worked. She has to help one of the 7 sins, envy, capture the other 6 sins.
Okay.
And if she does that, then Rosebud will be freed from the locket.
Okay.
Hey, can you guess that there's a heel turn coming? The controls are largely designed around the thumbsticks and keeping your thumbs there. So most of the jump and shoot and everything is on the triggers. The damage that you take is fairly generous, but fuck me, the hitbox isn't.
Okay.
Like, you can get hit in a fairly... It's rough. I feel like the hitbox is a bit rough in how it's developed. The developers tried to give each sin's domain fresh mechanics, vary it up, so it's not just the same thing all the way through. But the back half falls apart qualitatively.
Okay.
Because those design choices end up making the difficulty way harder than it needs to be, and it's not through smart or difficult design challenges. It's just cheap feeling bullshit that exploits the hitbox or uses frustrating gimmicks that feel like it's designed to artificially lengthen the game. And it's pretty short. I finished it in 3 hours.
Oh, you've actually finished it? Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not that long to begin with, but fuck me.
So what are you doing? What are you doing moment to moment? Like, is it a
it's basically scrolling platformer-ish.
And you're attacking. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You're shooting various enemies that come on the screen. So you can see the sort of gun in her hand. You can see some enemies that have either been exploded or are about to be exploded. So yeah, you're shooting a bunch of fodder enemies until you get to a boss fight.
Okay.
Only about less than 10% of people finished it on easy.
Okay.
Because that's the completion percentage for the easy completion achievement. Its brevity is its saving grace, because if it wasn't that short, I would have said fuck it and just dropped it. The art style is fantastic, but the back half of it leaves such a bitter taste in the metaphorical mouth that it feels like a disappointment and just a missed opportunity. Just some of the mechanical things that happen in that back half that really feel like you just get fucked. Which is a shame, but is what it is. We did a checkout of Clockwork Ambrosia, the demo. I played the finished product.
Ooh,
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So the narrative is pretty sparse early on. Iris is Iris is the main character. She's floating along on a blimp.
Yep.
A mechanical dragon pops out and goes, "Ha ha!" Shoots it down.
Okay. Pass it.
And then you're like, what? You end up landing in a city where everything is fucked.
Okay.
Which is confirmed when you run into Hunter or a Hunter. That's not really. It just comes up with the dialogue and just says Hunter as the character. So I'm like, are you a Hunter or just named Hunter? The dragon shows back up, shoots you off a platform, and as you're falling, you pull a parachute, and you're like, ah. And then a little drone comes off and cuts the parachute, which is really funny. I love the SNES-inspired visuals to it.
The art style is great, yeah, for sure.
The art style is fantastic, just like you would see on a Super Nintendo, or at least what you think you would see on a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
There seem to be weird little hitches every 20 minutes or so.
Is it what freezes?
Some reason. Yeah, weird micro pause on whatever. Which I don't know why that happened, but the movement and combat feels pretty good early on, but Jesus Christ, after about the first hour, just this multitude of issues start piling up.
Yeah, okay.
You get a wall jump.
Yep, fair enough.
It's single use.
What do you mean single use?
So you jump off the wall once, you can't jump back and forth.
Oh, it's not okay. Gotcha.
Which is hang on, what's the point of wall jump if you're not going to let me use it more than once at a time? There's inconsistency in enemy spawns. So sometimes you will exit a room, walk back in, and the enemies will have respawned.
Yep.
And sometimes you do, and they don't.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, well, pick one.
Pick one.
Like, yeah, what are you doing? There's also inconsistency in enemy damage. So some enemies, like these cute little, like, unicorny,
Yep.
non-horned unicorns,
Mm-hmm.
will only do 1 pip of damage.
Yep.
But if you have a charging enemy run at you, no matter how big it is, like, remember the cute little baby chargers in the demo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can kill you in 1 hit if you get
Jesus.
hit by them.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it's pretty fucked. I think the signposting after the first hour, like after you get out of the mine area, the signposting's pretty lackluster.
Okay.
Like the NPCs sort of suggested one place to go. It's like, oh, go to the what was it? Go to the water, basically water treatment sort of thing.
Mm.
But it was like, oh, go right. What the fuck does that mean? Because when I went there, it's like, I can't go up here the way you want me to, and I'm like, okay. So some of the distinctions of what can and can't be jumped on is a little bit
Okay.
underwhelming. And like normally in a search action game like this, after the first area, you get traversal tools that you can go back and research those areas.
Yeah, like grapple hooks or whatever,
Yep.
dash jumps, whatever.
Nope.
So okay, so it's
Going
very
back to try and research those first areas didn't get you shit.
okay.
The frame rate, the game's frame rate busts the usability of the map.
Okay.
If you uncap the frame rate, you can't zoom the map in or out.
Oh,
But
weird.
if you cap it at 60, it works.
I'm assuming that's a bug. Or we want to assume that's a bug.
It's absolutely a bug.
Yeah.
I had a better bug in that you get in the demo. I think it was like 5 pips of health, and then you had a pip of armor, and you could use a repair function to repair the armor pip if you had enough energy. I had a bug where I would use the energy, but the armor wouldn't get repaired. Where given how important it is to have that armor to not die in combat, not being able to repair it fucks it into the dirt.
Mm.
And the other one was you'd set it to full screen, but every other time you'd relaunch it, you'd have to unset it from full screen and reset it back to full screen for it to work properly.
Yeah. Okay.
I wanted to like it. There's some solid bones to this thing, but fuck me, the amount of issues that there are for the 16 to 18 hours it's supposed to be. I'm just like, yeah, I'm done.
That's disappointing because it is
very disappointing.
Because we both saw that in I don't know where we both saw it. We both saw it in probably the same thing, and just that looks really cool.
Yeah.
But if it's falling flat in multiple areas, not just one that you can overlook, but multiple. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. That's disappointing.
The repair bug was what fucked it. As soon as when I couldn't repair my armor to allow me to survive better and longer. Like you give me a mechanic and then it breaks and I can't use that mechanic anymore. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So vultures, scavengers of death. I think I stumbled upon this just on Steam. I can't remember how I found this. It's XCOM mixed with Resident Evil.
Oh, okay.
In a really quite an interesting way. It's really Resident Evil in its narrative setup. There's a big corporation, zombie outbreak happens, and you're a small crew of quote-unquote experts that get sent in to investigate. These are quite early screenshots because the UI is nothing like that. But anyway, the XCOM take is really quite good. And it presents an interesting spin on survival horror because by putting it into that XCOM form, you're doing the sort of Resident Evil exploration in an XCOM style, but then when it turns into combat, it's XCOM combat. So you have action points, movement points, things like that. It also has some of the puzzle design that Resident Evil was known for, but there's some problems that come from that because some of the puzzles either don't explain themselves very well or set off consequences that you're not prepared for. So there was a puzzle that locked me out of a room on the second stage because by correctly entering a code on a safe, it set off an alarm that permanently locked the room.
Okay.
And then like some of the combat decisions fuck you a little bit because I had to redo the first mission because I was just shooting, like in combat, I was just going, haha, shoot, and just shooting all the zombies. I got to the end of the mission, and a big fucked up zombie boss popped up, and I had no ammo to deal with it. So I had to redo the entire mission. Like the exploration's super satisfying. It's a really interesting idea, but some of the mechanical choices just end up being frustrating as well. So, like I said, I flushed, I think, the first attempt of both the first and second mission. In combat, if a zombie ends up adjacent to you, if you do not stun them and you try and move away from them, they essentially Overwatch grab you and attack you.
Okay.
But you don't have an Overwatch yourself, so if they move close to you, you can't auto-attack them.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then for the ammo conservation, because ammo is super important, it's a survival horror game after all. Using guns is pretty ill-advised in case you run into, a big fuck-off boss at the end of the first mission. So you're repeating this core loop of stun, stab, repeat. Like, you have a couple of maneuvers that, like, you can just charge into some, like, as this dude, I can't remember his name. You can charge into a zombie and stun them, which will either push them away, or because it's grid-based, if the character here was in this square here and pushed him into the wall, it would, like, literally stun him for a couple of turns. So if that's the only enemy left, it'll break combat, you stab him, it'll restart combat, then you have your 3 action points back.
Yeah, okay.
And you can also, like, target the legs to immobilize them, but neither the stun or immobilize are guaranteed. They're chance-based. So I could burn 3 turns trying to push a dude into a wall or trying to shoot his legs, not immobilize them, and then end up getting fucked. Like, the stunning, the effective core loop of stun, stab, repeat is kind of fun, but fuck me, it gets repetitive. Because you're not able to vary up your tactics or vary up your choices. It's literally, if you don't play this way, you get fucked. And it turns it into being either very repetitive, fucking long-winded, or a bit of both.
Yeah.
So there's some real, like, it's a small, I think it's a 2-person team from Colombia.
Okay.
So it's super interesting conceptually, but it's just some, like, design choices that I question as far as, okay. So it's a real shame, but, Leopoldo. His name's Leopoldo. It's literally right there in the fucking... So, yeah, a neat idea that doesn't really hold its water.
Doesn't quite get there.
Yeah. Bubsy 4D. So I have nostalgia for the original game on the Mega Drive in a way that's way more positive than it has any right to be. My brother and I played a disturbing amount of that first game, despite how much it sucks shit. This Bubsy 4D might be the best Bubsy game made. That's a pretty low bar, though, because the first Bubsy 3D game came out in 1996. It's generally regarded as one of the worst games ever made. And the other 6 games are varying degrees of bad. So the bar's not exactly high for Bubsy on this one. I played the demo on stream. And, like, I basically pretty much only played the tutorial. I'm like, yo, this is actually really good. I really should have played another level or 2, because fuck me, the stuff that's in the tutorial doesn't hold doesn't hold up very well as you're playing through the levels. I did say, as you move, it lands flat on the bobcat hitting the ground from a few stories up, because if in the original games, if you there was fall damage, and Bubsy only, like, had 1 hit deaths. So if you fell from too far, Bubsy would splat and die. The most unique mechanic is a hairball, which basically is that. So you can use it to maneuver your way through the levels in ball form pretty quickly, but it's really loose to control and not very precise. And then it gets worse, because if you try and jump while in the ball form, it bounces like a ball would. It doesn't actually jump.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So if you want to jump, or you want to, like, if you're moving, it's harder to land precisely. So if you're moving, you come out of the ball form, you lose a bunch of momentum from and a bunch of the speed you built up in the ball form, slow down, land precisely, and then go back in it to keep going. So like trying to combine it and create these movement combos isn't particularly effective because it doesn't chain very well. Like that part's disappointing. But then the camera might be one of the no, I'm not going to say it might be one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen because obviously, like I said, the Bubsy 3D on the PlayStation was a fucking abomination. But the camera got hung up in some really interesting places that made platforming really quite difficult. And given you know, it's a platformer, so if you can't see what you're jumping at, it makes it really hard. Like, it's not awful. I probably could have played it. And I really love how much Bubsy's family and friend, I think it's only one friend, maybe it's more than one, how much they think he's a fucking idiot. I love that. But, like, it's not particularly great. Given the depths of depravity that the Bubsy games are, it's not, like, it's still, like I said, the best one. But that's not a very high bar. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Teller's Duty is something I played a demo of, and the demo actually broke on me. There was a part where I couldn't actually access the money to give to people in the demo. So I'm like, that's fucked. But this is Papers, Please in a bank with like a papery sort of pencil-drawn art style. Like, you can see the paper outline of the old lady here. Pretty much any character is like a cutout, and it just shuffles along like
she looks like a sticker.
Yeah, that's how it works. The game starts with a nuclear bomb being dropped. It then flashes back to a year earlier. You're given a job and 30 days to prove yourself by your uncle. That gets explained. Like Papers, Please, it does devolve into mystery and intrigue that you need to pass as you go along. And every day, new rules are introduced. So you need, like, they might need to have their savings book to be able to withdraw. And you have two stamps, approved or denied. If they don't meet the rules, you have to deny them. If you don't deny them correctly, a fax machine will send you through a notice and go, you fucked this up. I mean, it doesn't say that, but... Or if they're withdrawing, you have to pull the money off the shelves and give it to them. And you can use the cash counter. There's a few days where the cash counter breaks, so you have to manually add it up, which fucks me up. It drips out the rules really quite well. It paces it really nicely. Like, when you got the hang of things, that's when it starts dripping these little rules out in front of you. I really wish the first non-banking action you engage in wasn't smoking. Because I have like a weird pathological discomfort of it.
Okay.
And smoking slows down time, seemingly. Don't know how that works.
Okay.
It is region and time appropriate. It's set in 1980 in like a Eastern Bloc country, so it makes sense. But I'm still not comfortable with it. I don't like it. But whatever. At the end of the day, like, you have to figure out. Oh, these are really early. You have to figure out how you're going to spend your money. Like, to buy food for yourself, you need to have enough money to cover the rent left. You need you can choose to save food home to your family to keep them fed. You eventually find this little guy, this little cat. Cat rocks up on the door. I called him Meow Cat because I'm very clever in how I name things. So it adds a layer of complexity and management proceedings or managerial elements to proceedings, which is nice. The pacing gets broken up by different events and like interactions you have. Like, I had one where a lady wanted to meet me at a coffee house, didn't really say why, and I'm not going to explain or spoil how this happened, but I ended up dead. So I had to restart that day. So it does some really neat and interesting things with how it plays out. But like, you get some like, particularly at the end of a day, you'll have one animate, like, it'll load. There'll be a scene that's barely animated, like it might just be a bus coming across and stopping, and then it loads again.
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck is the point in that? But yeah, for what it wants to do, the story it wants to tell, or the stories it wants to tell, because there's a lot of interactions with the different characters that are really interesting. It gets in, gets out really well. It does it really effectively. I finished it in just shy of 6.5 hours. Who knew that a month in the shoes of a bank teller would be so filled with mystery, intrigue, and action? I will say though, the largest story and its conclusion is incredibly confusing. Like fuck knows how the nuclear bomb comes into play. But the moment-to-moment writing is fantastic, and the events, the references are really great. There's some characters that pop up that are very dead ringer references to certain well-known figures, and they do skewer them pretty well. So that's pretty great. Xanthium 2 is a very classically styled search action game.
I was going to say, yep.
Yeah. They love them some OG Metroid. So it's the package is quite neat if you have an interest, because they include a remastered version of their first Xanthium 0 in one package. So that's neat, but Xanthium 0 looks borderline the same. The story is like nonsensical in like a hell of sci-fi way. It feels pretty good for the classic style they're going for, but it just isn't sticking with me. Like, it just, I don't know, it was something a bit too basic about it for my liking, where it's meant to be 8 to 12 hours long. I was like, no thanks. I got other things to do. If you like that NES Metroid, then yep, you'll like this. It definitely evokes NES Metroid with some really interesting little modern twists, but the modern twists aren't that modern, or they're very small. But I just sort of fell off it because I'm like, this is okay, this is neat. But no, not for me. One that is. And this is an instance where the demo really didn't sell me on the game. Like, I played the demo for Grumpy Jack and I didn't really dig it. But then I played the full game and I fucking love it. It's super weird. So, top-down search action game. From the developer of Super Road Boy, which I really liked from last year. The setup is fucking fantastic. So you are Jack-O-Lantern. So he's tending to his garden, and he's serving as a background character. The hero rocks up. So apparently you're meant to just be there to give the hero a couple of quests, which is what Death actually says to you. The reason Death says that to you is because at some point, Jack throws his rake through a slime that was impeding on his garden and hit the hero in the face with it. So the hero dies. The hero then can't kill the Nightmare King. So Death rocks up and goes, you have to do it. Kind of like a nice day for fishing. Jack-O-Lantern's like, fuck you, what if I don't? Death's like, I'm going to step on your flowers. So Jack's like, all right, fine. You run into the most terrifying ghost ever known, who's a little cute guy named Snuggles, which I really dig. He wants a friend to follow and help, and he also happens to have a fucking murderous streak a mile long. I don't know how a cute little ghost can be so murderous, but yeah. There's also a scarecrow named Russell Crowe. Rustle, which is great. It's all most of the game seems to be about like well-worn tropes, subverting them and crapping on them while still utilizing them a little bit. So there's a part where Jack notices something and he just comments that it's lazy writing. Like, oh, yeah, okay, that one's not great. But every time you find an ability, he just holds up a sign that says yay. That is great. The exploration and combat have just enough depth and complexity to keep it interesting the whole way through. It's pretty short, which mate, that helps. I finished it in just over 2 hours on the in-game completion. It's super like the controls feel really great. It doesn't waste time. It's super efficient. Gets in, gets out, does what it wants to do, and it's really fun. Although I got here, I don't know if this is a bug or not, because I'm stuck on 99% completion. There's one skill that I can't learn, and there's one gem that I can't find to get it. You get compasses in the end of the game that show you where all the chests are that you haven't got. I can't see one that I don't have. And the developer doesn't seemingly know what the fuck happened. So, but yeah, it's neat. It's really cool. That I said finished in just over 2. Most of the time left is me trying to figure out where the fucking hell the last chest is.
Okay.
What the hell I missed to get the 100%. But I didn't. Oh, hey, rock bottom. That game's neat.
That game's neat.
This is the last game on mine for this week. Like I said, I had another 5, but I played them on the Saturday version of Friday Night Fun instead, so I didn't have to talk about them here, which were largely variants of incremental games that I did not think were very good for varying reasons. Stone Marcia. This is another one I played the demo for and didn't really like, which is weird. This might be one of the most narratively nonsensical and incomprehensible Souls-likes I've ever played. According to the store page, it's a take on Dante's Inferno. Some of the characters are chess pieces. Some. You're a pawn named Zephyro. Apparently, that you get given that name about 2 hours in by a NPC who was a boss. You beat the boss, they then become your friend. So they call you Zephyro. So you don't have a name at the start. You're trying to get back into chess heaven.
Of course.
All the enemies you defeat were possessed, seemingly by weird black sludge strings.
Okay.
The cast of characters or enemies range from a literal giant, dispossessed royal chess pieces, to gargoyles and possessed mice. You seem to have or find angelic armor that allows you to transform into 3 other pieces or chess pieces or forms. So you got a rook, a knight, and a bishop.
Okay. Yeah.
It's real weird. The bishop and knight aren't particularly useful. They don't do a great deal of damage. The pawn does some decent damage early, like not great early on, but as you upgrade, does way more damage, and the parry is super effective. But the rook just fucks shit up. The difference being that like the healing mechanism isn't limited, or it's only limited based on your aggression.
Okay. Yep.
The more you attack and the more you parry while you're attacking, if you successfully parry, you get juice for your healing bottle. If you kick back and try not to attack so you don't get hit, you aren't getting that health back.
Yeah.
The pawn on parry gets way more healing juice back than the rook does, so there's a bit of push-pull there. For the price, it actually looks really, really nice. Like, it's less than $30 Australian, and I think it looks really good.
It's definitely got an art. Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's got an art style. It's kind of neat. Yeah.
It's got a look to it. When you get up close on some of the textures, they do look a little gungy, which, yeah, okay, sure. The music is fitting, but I don't really dig it, except for a boss fight against the quote-unquote queen, who is just fucking shredding a guitar. I don't know why, and it's fucking awesome. It's actually way closer to Sekiro than it is a true Souls-like, because it's incredibly parry-focused in the combat, and there isn't character building. When you level up, you're just feeding XP or feathers into your level, and it just upgrades your damage, health, and stuff like that. You're not deciding on a dex build or magic build or anything like that.
Yep.
And there's no gear either.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
Sekiro didn't have really gear either.
Yeah.
And I fucking love Sekiro. It feels mostly fantastic to play. Like, the movement's really neat. Like, the rook moves like a fucking tank, and the pawn's this little nimble guy, which is like, it creates a nice different feel between the different forms. The bishop is really, really quick, but does fuck all damage. I did have issues sometimes with the camera getting in like spots that would be all kind of fucked and make some of the combat kind of unmanageable. But like, if you move it, it is what it is. Combat did feel a bit toothless early on, particularly for the pawn. The bishop does fuck all, even less than the pawn. But as you level up, you do more damage. So that part's fine. It's relatively linear. It's very sort of focused and almost tunnel-based in its level design. There are some offshoots for you to do some exploring, and there are bosses that are off the beaten track, and collectible LPs that give you more music, I guess. I don't know. I didn't play them. It's paced really well as well. So there's some spots where you get some really intense sort of combat, and then there's some like quiet moments that you're maneuvering through the environment, which is nice. You don't want to just have all intensity all the time sometimes. I finished it just shy of 18 hours with 80% of the achievements. It's the only game I've played not on non-stream game I've played since last Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I started on Monday after work, and it's the only thing I've played that wasn't on stream. So that should sort of say the extent to which it engaged me, despite the little concerns I had, my initial concerns, some of the niggles I had with it. It's despite the absolutely incoherent story, but for the price point, it might be one of the best games in the genre. It's a narrow second place to AI Limit for the best budget game in the Souls-like genre. Like, I was kind of unsure of it for the first couple of hours, but the more I played of it, it was the more it hooked me. But again, I played the demo and I'm like, yeah, I'm not digging this. But anyway, it's fucking great. And the last couple of bosses were fucked. Anyway, so that's the games of the last couple of weeks. It is the start of August.
Indeed it is.
There are games coming out in August.
There is some games, yes. August is relatively stacked, you could say.
Fuck. I've got the games of August up if you wanted to just go there. I will say this list could have been about 4 to 5 times longer. With the number of things that I'm looking forward to this month. And fuck me, let's not even try and think about next month or October yet. Jesus. So literally the day this goes up, or the day this will be available, Anomaly President, which is the follow-up from Anomaly Agent, the roguish beat-em-up I really enjoyed from last year, 2024, with the synth-wavy soundtrack and stuff. Their sequel's coming out in early access. Oh, no, wait. This says full release. I thought it was early access, but either way. So that'll be out by the time this is up. Beast of Reincarnation, one of a few Souls-ish or Souls-adjacent games in the back end for the year. The Relic First Guardian did come out. I had that on last month's list. That did not stick the landing. That has reviewed incredibly piss poorly, so I'm disappointed. So I'm hoping Beast of Reincarnation sticks the landing, but we'll find out Tuesday. That's out on Tuesday this week. On everything bar the Switch. So we'll see. This is from Game Freak, the Pokemon people, which is weird. The next game from the Untitled Goose Game people, Big Walk, is also out on Tuesday. Couldn't get 2 different games. So yeah, hang out and get lost with close friends in a big world. A cooperative online walker-talker from the creators of Untitled Goose Game. This has looked really neat. So I'm curious how it shows off in execution.
Yeah, I mean that's a like a streamer centric game. It's not a game I've had.
Yeah, it does have some hooks like that.
I've got no interest in playing. I've got no interest in playing it at all. So,
really?
But I mean, not at all. No. But yeah, I mean, I like the concept's neat, but I just have no interest in playing it.
I'm curious how it's going to land.
Couldn't get anything more.
Coming out on everything.
Couldn't get anything more different to their previous game, though.
Fuck yeah. Although you can take your friend's binoculars and just hop in the water. So there is a bit of a dickishness goose-like dickishness going on. I added this. After I finished it. Pickball. Because it's a fucking incremental mining game, but it's kind of...
Some sort of pinball mechanic.
I disagree with their assertion that this is pinball.
No, it's more...
It's fucking Peggle.
Peggle, yeah, correct.
But like some people have like old pinball was apparently quite like this.
No, that looks really fucking.
That looks like shit popping off left and right.
This looks awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. So that's out on Thursday. Agent 64, Spies Never Die. It's a kind of harkening back to GoldenEye.
Oh, of course, absolutely, clearly, yeah.
Very much so. But in a way where apparently they're building in some humor into the proceedings. Which looks really, really neat. And I kind of hope it doesn't just shit itself and rely too much on, hey, get it, GoldenEye. A game I played on stream, or a demo of anyway, Pro Jank Footy is out Wednesday, the 12th of August. Kind of NBA Jam, but footy. Like, you can literally just run through people. Or they can just come up and, like, clothesline you down. It's pretty sick. Rivage, was this a me or a you?
This is a me one. This is just a first-person puzzle game. I played a little bit of the demo, to the point where I just said, "Oh, it's out in literally 2 weeks' time or something." When I started realizing it, so I'll just wait for it.
How messed up with the puzzles?
I didn't play a lot of it to be able to say they're good, bad, and different. As I said, I literally didn't play that much of it. But I think it's going to be sort of similar to what you're seeing on screen. They're like sort of pathing puzzles.
Like circuit-based puzzles or things like that.
Yeah, I suspect so.
Interesting. So that's out on the day after Pro Jank Footy is out. Duskfade is a 3D platformer, Zelda-y, Souls-y ish. That's out on Thursday, the 13th of August. I played the demo for that. It was all right.
Looks really neat. Visuals wise, looks
got
impressive.
a really neat look and a really neat art style. Given how often recently I've played demos and I'm like, and then the main games come out and I've been, fuck yeah. I'm not going to discount this yet. Twisted, sorry.
No, just screening. That's all.
Twisted Tower, BioShock meets Willy Wonka. Fucking, that sounds all right, bud, to me. Kind of a little survivally horror-y maybe vibe to it as well. But the BioShock meet in a sort of abandoned theme park, I could get down on that. Hopefully it's good. I did see a couple of threads on the discussion boards where people are kind of like, this doesn't look great. And I'm like, so we'll see what happens when it comes out. Mortal Shell 2, I played the open beta on stream. It's fucking awesome. This is substantially better than the first one. More varied, much more interesting graphically. So, and playing it, I think they tighten things up really well in a way that's going to make this quite a hopefully very interesting and very good entry into the genre. Lose Lagoon.
Yep. So
that
this is a game
out on the 27th.
It's a demo I played last year.
6 months ago.
Maybe last year, I think. Maybe early. Maybe it was
late last year. I
think. Late last year. Very neat little sort of third-person adventure game of sorts. So yeah, it just looks really neat. Art style looks pretty neat.
Kind of survivally, but also kind of not.
Yeah, I think it's maybe more friendlier than that, but yeah, that kind of a thing. But yeah,
that plane looks like hell of tailspin. Just need Kit Cloud Kicker like sky surfing after it. Star Wars Zero Company on the 27th of August. It's Star Wars but XCOM.
Yeah, this is actually getting some pretty positive buzz so far from what I've seen. So hoping they've stick the landing. I think the thing is going to be like, hopefully they stick the landing on. I think the gameplay from what I've seen, I think they've got right. It's going to be the story. I think it's going to probably be for me personally, is going to be the thing that says whether this succeeds or not. But yeah, everything I'm I haven't read a lot of in-depth articles on it, but I've read lots of headlines that sort of imply that this is at least heading in the right direction, and it looks like it has a good potential of being quite good. So yeah, looking forward to that one.
I think this is really the kickstart of the deluge as well.
Certainly the first big AAA adjacent game.
Lead into September and October. And then on the exact same day, Resident of Playtale Legacy. 15 years before Requiem. So it's much more of a action RPG take on Playtale.
It's a bit of a different... Same group of... Same developers and all that kind of stuff, but a very different game. So, that one's going to be interesting to see, that one, because, as I said, the first two games were essentially, they were stealth games, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas this one seems to be much more third-person action sort of thing. So, but setting that environment is in that world, and the games they make, if you go to the very first screenshot there,
it looks fucking sick.
The games look fucking amazing. So, the worlds they create are really damn good. So, yeah.
If they can maintain that sort of narrative depth that the first two Plague Tale games have, with a bit more combat to them, and the combat actually feels good to play, then this could be really cool.
Could be a bit of not a sleeper hit is probably not quite right with them because they're not really a sleeper, but they could be.
I can agree with you on sleeper.
It could be a bit of
could
be a big game that it could have, on the servers it could be sort of thing. But
particularly, fucking. And let's not worry about September yet.
No.
Fuck. But like I said, I could have made this list 4 to 5 times longer based on all the shit I'm looking forward to this month. But a lot of that is kind of, is that shit gonna land? Who can say? But yeah, some decent stuff are coming.
Indeed.
How about we begin the end?
Cool. That's lower than it should be.
I don't know, that's right to me. Okay, youtube.com / should I play this game 64 is where you'll find the YouTube videos if you are not watching this on YouTube and listening to this in podcast form. Twitch.tv / enemy starship is where I do silliness on largely Fridays and Saturdays. Next week, possible video.
Yes.
Maybe mid-game digging might be interesting if it picks up.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If digging picks up mid-game, that might be interesting maybe to show off, or maybe you come around on Big Walk.
Maybe. Well, we've got.
That sounds pretty unlikely.
Yep.
We'll figure something out maybe between now and then. But yeah, I'll be hitting the fun on Friday with more stuff. And then I don't think I'm sticking with another Crab's Treasure on the Saturday version. That game's pissing me off for camera reasons and other bits and pieces, but we'll see. Anything else?
No, that'll cover us.
Sick balls. This has been the Should I Play This Game podcast for the 3rd of April. 3rd of August. Fucking whatever.
That one.
Yeah. It's a month starting with A. 2026. We'll be back in a couple of weeks for another podcast with some video content interspersed in between. Graham Banks!
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Been a long one too. Just looked at the time. Hour and 45 minutes, so long one.
In fairness, we played between the two of us nearly 17 games.
17 games, yeah. One of the biggest ones we've had so far.
Yeah. So we haven't had quite the voluminous output in recent weeks. At least I have, but anyway. Yeah, we'll see you in a couple of weeks for some stuff, and then there'll be videos and stuff too. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.
Bye.